Welcome to TPM Vid's Disney Beat, where we talk about all things Disney. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon to be notified when we upload a new video. We also have Instagram and Twitter. You can find us at TPM Videos. When you hear the word Epcot, this is probably the image that immediately comes to mind. With its clever design, Spaceship Earth is one of the most iconic centerpieces of any theme park. Epcot opened on October 1st, 1982 as Epcot Center. The Epcot acronym stands for Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow. When Walt came up with the idea for the Florida project, his plan for Epcot was originally designed to be a real city that would expand on new ideas of urban living, revolving around technology and the future. It was called Progress City, and part of the model can actually be found on the People Mover at Magic Kingdom. It's definitely an interesting concept of a futuristic city, but obviously this exact idea never came to fruition. But Epcot did, and it's loosely based on this concept. Keeping with the ideas of technology and the future, Disney developed what's essentially a permanent World's Fair, building Epcot Center on 305 acres of land, where it's now currently the second largest theme park in Florida. The park is split into two sections, Future World and World Showcase. We already have a full video about the hidden secrets of World Showcase, so as the title suggests, today is all about Future World. Although Epcot has seen many changes since opening, and even to this day is continuing to evolve, it's still a very unique theme park. So today, we'll be taking a look at the park's history and counting down the top 10 secrets and facts of Epcot's Future World. Number 10. Geodesic. Like we mentioned earlier, Spaceship Earth is probably one of the most iconic centerpieces in a theme park, coming in at 165 feet wide, 180 feet tall, and about 15.5 million pounds. But what exactly is it? You may have heard it being referred to as a giant golf ball or just the Epcot ball, but its proper title is a geodesic sphere. Actually, it's the largest freestanding sphere in the world. Now, what exactly makes it a geodesic sphere? Well, it's because it utilizes triangular pieces that help distribute the structural stress. This allows the sphere to support very heavy loads, like the Spaceship Earth attraction inside. But we're just talking about the inside sphere. Spaceship Earth is actually a sphere within a sphere that has an inner layer and an outer layer. Now, this design was actually inspired by the Montreal Biosphere, which was formerly the American Pavilion at Expo 67 in Montreal. Imagineers loved the design and commissioned the same company to build Spaceship Earth. Also supporting the sphere are 6 legs that are drilled about 120 feet into the ground, which is more than half the height of Spaceship Earth, so this structure isn't going anywhere. Number 9. Secret Codes. One thing Disney likes to do is pay tribute to important dates of the theme parks and attractions through secret numerical codes. In the Land Pavilion's Living with the Land attraction, as you approach the American Prairie scene, you'll find one of these codes. The scene is filled with animatronics that usually catch your eye, but pay special attention to the mailbox on the left-hand side next time you ride. It reads B. Jones RFD number 82, and the 82 represents 1982, which is the year Epcot opened. Also at Soarin' just next door, there's another numerical tribute. You may have heard your flight number referenced as Soarin' Airlines.
Flight 5505 with round-trip service.
Soarin' at Epcot opened on May 5th, 2005. So the first 5 represents May, which is the 5th month, the second 5 represents the 5th day, and the 05 represents the year 2005. So next time there's a random numbered code in a Disney park, it probably has a lot more meaning than you think. Number 8. A record setter. The Seas with Nemo and Friends originally opened as the Seas Pavilion in 1986, and when it was built, it held the record for being the largest saltwater aquarium in the world. This aquarium holds a lot of water, 5.7 million gallons to be exact. It's 200 feet wide and 27 feet deep. To give you a bit more perspective on the size, Spaceship Earth would be able to fit inside the aquarium, leaving 35 feet to spare. So yeah, it's pretty big. It's also accredited by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums and is currently home to over 8,000 sea creatures. In 2005, the Georgia Aquarium built an even larger saltwater tank, and more recently, larger aquariums have been built overseas. So now Epcot is currently home to the second largest aquarium in America and sixth largest aquarium in the world. Number 7. Very draining. Staying on the topic of water, have you ever noticed that when it rains at Epcot, the area under Spaceship Earth stays completely dry? Well, that's because a sophisticated drainage system was built into the sphere. We mentioned earlier that Spaceship Earth is a sphere within a sphere, so the outside layer is a completely separate structure from the inside layer. There's actually a 2-foot gap between the inner and outer shells, and each of the 954 aluminum triangles are just for aesthetic purposes only. There's a 1-inch gap between the triangular pieces, and this acts as a drainage system. When it rains, the water falls into these cracks, runs through a gutter in the structure, travels down a drain through the legs of the sphere, eventually making its way into World Showcase Lagoon. So if you want to stay dry, just make sure you find a spot under Spaceship Earth. Number 6. Underground tunnels. So Magic Kingdom is known for its elaborate underground tunnel system. But did you know that Epcot also has underground tunnels? They're nowhere near as extensive as Magic Kingdom's, but they definitely exist. Epcot's tunnels run in a U-shape under the old Innoventions West building, across Spaceship Earth, all the way through Innoventions East, where it also connects to the backstage area of the Universe of Energy Pavilion. This series of tunnels only runs about 700 feet, and it's primarily used for deliveries to the restaurants and the shops in Future World. Since these buildings are located in the middle of the park, they have no direct access to backstage areas like the rest of the buildings, so the tunnel system was built solely for this purpose. Number 5. The fastest. If you watched our top 10 fastest rides at Walt Disney World video, you probably know that Test Track is the fastest ride at Walt Disney World. It reaches top speeds of 65 miles per hour, but the speedometer that appears near the end of the ride doesn't actually track the current speed of the vehicle. There's many factors like weight and wind that could affect the speed, so it's essentially just a prop. And these aren't your typical cars either. This kind of attraction is known as a slot car ride, where the ride vehicle is controlled by a mechanism below the track. Each of the vehicles actually has 22 wheels. There's the 4 main ones you can physically see, then beneath the car, there's 18 more small wheels that lock right onto the track. Number 4. Abandoned and extinct. At Epcot, you may have found yourself walking right by some remnants of a couple extinct and abandoned attractions in the Imagination Pavilion. As you head to the exit in ImageWorks, you'll notice there's a platform you step down from, and this is actually the edge of the turntable from the original Journey into Imagination ride. And if you look above, you can see the circular outline as well. The pavilion also has a second floor, which used to be home to the original ImageWorks. That's where this iconic picture of Michael Jackson was taken. During the refurb in 1999, it closed and was left abandoned for the longest time. As of recently, it's now been turned into a DVC member lounge, so when you walk towards the exit doors, that set of stairs on the left-hand side leads to what used to be another attraction. Number 3. Fiber optics. When the sun sets and day turns to night, Epcot is even more beautiful. Spaceship Earth sports a purple hue, the buildings are illuminated, and even the concrete lights up. Fiber optic strands in the concrete tiles light up, creating different lighting patterns as guests walk by. These are the fiber optic lights you're probably used to seeing, but if you venture behind Spaceship Earth, you'll find these. They're more intricate designs in larger sections of concrete, and they also change colors. They definitely give off a futuristic feel, fully supporting the whole idea of Future World. Number 2. Talking trash. What if we told you there's still a talking trash can at Disney? Now, we aren't talking about Push the Talking Trash Can, since he was removed from the parks in 2014. But at the Electric Umbrella restaurant in Epcot, there's still a talking trash can. It's not interactive like Push by any means, but when you push the lid and throw trash into it, the trash can will speak a variety of pre-recorded lines.
This is my lucky day. French fries.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Stop that! I heard it was salami, not salami.
Cool. Thank you.
Now, if you're ever confused on which trash can is the talking trash can, just take a look to see which one's plugged in to an electrical outlet.
It's mine!
It's mine.
Number 1. Presidential Space. Did you know that some of the presidents from the Hall of Presidents attraction can be found on Spaceship Earth? Well, creating the face molds for animatronics are very costly, so Imagineers try to eliminate the costs as much as possible and reuse the molds within their attractions. Spaceship Earth has quite a few familiar faces that you've probably never noticed. The Egyptian priest and the Roman senator is actually Teddy Roosevelt. The writing monk is John Adams. The lute player in the Renaissance scene is Dwight Eisenhower. And the scholar sitting on the ground is Franklin Pierce. So with some different wigs and costumes, these well-known faces get transformed into brand new characters. So, what's your favorite thing about Epcot? And if you were only able to go on one ride in Future World, which one would you choose? Leave a comment down below and start a conversation. If you have any videos from the Disney parks that you'd like to share with us to be used in future videos, follow the link in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. Click the TPM icon on the screen to subscribe to this channel, and check out some of these other videos which we're sure you'll like.